Hi, Lisa Naya. If you're new here, I make fashion, lifestyle, and lock content, as you can see. If you're not new here, hey girl, what's up? Earlier this week, I asked you guys a few questions on my Instagram, so really I'm just about to go through and answer them. So I'm not gonna waste any time, we're just gonna get straight to it. So earlier, I already did the base of my makeup. I used my e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer and my Morphe Foundation for the coverage. I might go through, this is a really lightweight foundation, so I might do a second coat. It depends on how my face looks once I do my eyebrows and my eyes, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put these two questions up now because they like to play. Not even gonna give those a response. On to the next one. What's my favorite color and why? Blue. That's all I'm saying on it. Next. This is a good one. How's life going? Life is going immaculate. I feel like I've been in and out. To y'all, it probably looks like I've been in and out, but the way I've creating content now, I kind of batch create. I'm a type of person that doesn't really like social media that much, but I like creating content. So I had to find a balance between those two, and I feel like I found a good balance. I get my social media time in, but I also managed to create content, which is what you guys are getting. I feel like you're getting a more consistent amount of it now. Spiritually, I got inclined to a different level. I'm not gonna talk too much about my spirituality on here because I'm not that comfortable yet, but spiritually, I'm doing amazing. Mentally, I'm doing amazing. And financially, I'm about to be great because I just set myself up. Hold on, I can't breathe while doing my eyebrows. Talking while doing my eyebrows just makes it that much harder. But like I was saying, I just received a job that is going to set me up for my future, give me the experience that I need to get into the career field that I want to be in, along with the rest of my basically 10-year plan. So life is doing great because it feels like I finally got it back on track. I'm finding a good balance in between doing what I want to do, which is talking to you guys, actually focusing on my mental health and my spiritual journey, along with attempting to be more active. Granted, it's like a slope with that one. It's like I have a good week, then I have a bad week, but overall, I'm proud of myself and I'm doing very much better. So life is really amazing right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's amazing because my future is promising. The present is good too. But I feel like I'm overjoyed because of what I know was in my future. I feel like that kind of coincides with what I was just talking about because I just told y'all I just got back on track. Something I've accomplished in the past 30 days though, without getting too much into it, is practicing discipline regarding my spirituality. Everything that I'm doing, it's like I said, it's always like an on and off slope with me. But one of my goals this month was to like do better in that retrospect. Something else I accomplished regarding like my content is receiving more exposure. I wanted to receive a brand deal, not even a brand deal. I wanted to collaborate with somebody. One of my goals during this period was to receive any type of collaboration, whether it be from a photographer, a brand. I just wanted exposure and I wanted to network. To me, I thought it was gonna be hard being out of Atlanta, but honestly, since I've left, it's become a lot more easier because I've actually been able to do what I want, which is directing people towards me. I'm not gonna say who I'm collabing with, but that is gonna be very big in the near future. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got the news about collaboration literally today. So, you know, way to beat that 30-day mark because today is the 29th. So we were cutting close. The two obvious ones are Iman and Naomi, but I also really love Yaya DaCosta, Ebony Davis, Winnie Harlow. I've really been into Winnie Harlow lately. Ducky, Takara. Now granted, yes, I understand 3 of those names were from, you know, a reality show, a reality television show, but that's not the reason I like them. I like them because of what they did afterwards, or how they all created like names for themselves. I especially like Winnie Harlow. I know people say she's a bitch or whatever, but like, I know it probably had to be hard growing up the way she looked. And like, you know, turning a pile of shit into a garden. My favorite out of all of them at the moment right now though is Ebony Davis, because Ebony Davis, I'm sorry, I'm focused on my eyebrows. Ebony Davis is apologetically her. And she didn't have to conform to what everybody thinks it is to be this big time model to get to where she is. Like, she's unapologetically herself, and she still is, you know, on a high caliber of modeling just like all of these other women. And that's what I aspire to be, because I'm not trying to do stuff just to do it. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I want to be myself while doing it. And she don't give a, to put it simple. She does not give a. I'm pretty sure she's not considered one, but if we're talking about style, like, I know she's not a model, but like style wise, Tiana Taylor is that girl, very much that girl. I feel like we can consider her a model because she's walked in shows, but I don't think she's a supermodel because that's not her profession. Like, you know, she was a musician, but I think she could step with them girls. It's so embarrassing when I do my makeup around somebody or when I do it on camera, because y'all gotta see me like this. I swear to God it's gonna get better, but ooh baby, I look crazy as hell right now. So right now, the 3 shows I've only been watching for real is Abbott Elementary, but they drop new episodes once a week, so I haven't been watching it that heavy. I just watch it once a week, obviously, along with Raising Kanan, because we love the Power Universe over here. Can't stand 50, but that universe, I'm on that. And I've also been rewatching A Different World. That is my favorite show. Aside from, you know, SpongeBob, if we're not talking about cartoons, A Different World is hands down my favorite show. And Shaza, yup. If you know, you know, that's all I'm gonna say. I've been binging it like this entire week because I'm just trying to get to the part where Dwayne crashes the wedding. Once I get there, I'll be good off the rest of the season. I don't really need to see like the ending because I already know how it ends and stuff like that. But I gotta get to when he go down there aisle talking about some baby, please. Baby, please, please. I got to see my boy beg. Because they did something to me, you hear me? It's not a show, but 85 South show. Well, I guess it is a show. We watch that faithfully as well. When they drop new episodes, I'll be the first to watch. I do. Because I love me some Carlos. So in high school, surprise, surprise, it's really probably not a surprise because I'm pretty sure I still act the same way. But I was not, you know, popular. I was not one of them. I had 2 friends, and the 2 friends that I had in high school are the same 2 friends that I have now, plus 1 new one from college. But I didn't have any friends like that in high school. I wasn't really liked like that in high school, but I wasn't like bullied. I was the person people came to when they needed help with something, but they didn't talk about me behind my back. Well, they probably did, but to my knowledge, they just like laughed about me. I was the laugh. I was the butt of the joke. That's a good way to put it. I wasn't that confident, so like I didn't get into guys until like college and above. I was very much a nerd. I didn't have time to really do what like all of my other peers were doing because I was the president of like every other club. I wasn't really pressed about it because I had my best friend with me, so I didn't really care. All of y'all fake anyway. That's how I was looking at it. I would rather have that one real one than all of these fake folks around me, because they couldn't stand her neither. But we've been best friends since elementary school, so we went in together like, yeah, we don't need this, you know? Charge to people's heads, not their heart. I'm comfortable in my skin now, and I'm comfortable with myself. So I have no problem speaking my mind or saying, you know, how I felt once upon a time about certain things. But everybody didn't have the same journey that I did, and everybody hasn't been living, you know, the way I have these past few years. So some people are still stuck in that high school mindset. All in all, I can just say I thank God I didn't peak then, because baby, the people who did, not nothing that exciting about my high school experience. I don't think I have an answer for that question because I still don't know how, if we're being completely honest. Like, if you watched my previous video where I talked about the things that I've learned before the age of 21, one of the points in that video was keep your circle small and everything that's for you will come to you. So I feel like all of the people that are in my life were divinely placed there because I didn't like go running, looking under bushes for them. Like, it all happened by chance. And we just, you know, we never steered away from each other. The 4 friends that I have were all based off circumstance. And we just clicked immediately. Not even immediately, we clicked after time. And we just continued being friends after that. And I never like questioned their intentions or, you know, questioned why they're in my life because they were divinely placed there, you know what I mean? I personally have social anxiety. That's why I like talking to y'all, because I'm really just in my room talking to myself. That sounds horrible. Unless I'm speaking publicly or unless I'm like teaching something or helping someone, I don't know how to interact with people. Like, you know, when groups of people get around and people just attract towards each other, I'm usually the odd one out that's just there by myself because nobody attracts towards me and I don't know how to approach people. When it comes to making them, y'all tell me. Shoot, you tell me, because I do not know. It's not like I want to be closed off or I, you know, want to not have any friends. I'm just really particular with who I let around me. So like, I have no problem being friendly, but to say like I go out and make friends in this way or I like approach someone this way in order to be their friend, I'm not that gal. If they meant in terms of like business friends, like collaborations, my social media is built up of people who do things like me. So when I go to my explore page, I'm seeing not the content that I create, but the niches that I'm interested in. Like, I see that in hopes to, you know, find somebody that I'm interested in collaborating with that's around my vicinity. So in terms of that, I will reach out to them. I will compliment them. I will tell them I like what they're doing and I'm interested in doing XYZ with them. Or if I see someone in public making content that I would like to do, I'll be like, hey, like, you know, I do XYZ. We should do LMNOP. Like that. Okay, so I know you can't like have 2, but if I had to have 2, I feel like it'll be words of affirmation and quality time, because that's really all I be wanting. Like, I know I said I like to be on myself, but like, if you're my friend or if you're my man, like, those are the exceptions. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if I have somebody, I like to not be all up under them, but when it's time to be on them, I want them to be on me just like how I want to be on them. And I don't even mean sexually, I just mean like their presence. Like, I like to cuddle, I like to sit, I like to talk, I like to pick your brain, and I want somebody who wants to reciprocate that as well. Like, that's how I want to be loved. If they don't want to be loved like that, that's fine. I'll love them however they want to be loved, but that's what I would want from someone. Just really hear me. That is like my biggest pet peeve. Don't be listening. They don't be listening at all. I literally just want to be heard. And I love my friends the way I do because they know that about me. So they listen. You see? It goes further than relationships. I feel like when you master how to be a good friend, like genuinely have a good friendship, that'll do wonders for your relationship. And my friends are the friends that I have as of now because they know how I like to be loved. You know, you want to hear those things from the person that you love. And when I do fall in love with someone, I will want to hear that. So, yeah. Why am I trying to defend myself? Y'all ask me what my love language is. Yeah, that's what I want. Absolutely. In the future, y'all are going to be getting more fashion content. If I can be completely transparent with y'all, it's really hard to push out the content that I actually want to push out because things like that take money. And I have to get a degree. I have to pay rent and other bills. So it's really hard to allocate money towards something that I want to do when there's things that I need to do. So now that I have, you know, all of that planned accordingly, like, I'm not complaining about, you know, what I have to do. I'm an adult and I finally found a way to do it without, you know, it taking my breath away and stressing me out as much as it used to. So now that I have it under control, I know how I'm gonna go about this YouTube thing in the months to come. And you will be receiving a lot more fashion content because I will be able to do a lot more photo shoots and I'll be able to buy a lot more clothes. So you'll be getting hauls, lookbooks, etc., etc. And you'll continue to get, like, you know, lifestyle content, spiritual content, and lot content as well. Because God willing, you know, manifestation, I'm gonna have partners and collaborations in the future that are gonna help me with those expenses, especially when it comes to my locks and fashion. Somebody's hearing this, you know. Email is in the description. Hit me up. But I mean, other plans that I have for the new year, even though you didn't ask, are fitness, health and fitness. I know I said I'm doing better when it comes to like my mental health, fitness, and spirituality, but I want to do even better. Like, I don't want to just do good, I want to be better, and I want to continue to grow in all of these aspects. So that is on the list as well in the new year, along with finally getting my business started. So as you guys know, I already do have a website up and running, but it does not have a shop on it. As of right now, you're only able to book me for modeling purposes. But in the future, I'm gonna be adding an accessory line to all of this. The logistics and everything is already planned out. Like I said, financially, that just takes a lot to run a business.
You would know what it takes to run a business.
And I don't want to rush anything. I would rather just plan accordingly with intention, so when God says it's time for me to launch this and I'm fully prepared to do so, I'll be ready. I feel like I kind of explained that one in the new year one. Yeah, you guys can expect to receive more fashion content, more lot content, just more content, period. I set a goal with myself to upload twice a week rather than once now. So you guys are gonna be like receiving more content, and you're gonna be receiving a lot more content regarding my niche. Because I feel like sometimes I just go straight to talking, straight to makeup, or straight to spirituality, but we're multifaceted around here. And you guys are gonna see this looks if it kills me. So that is a very big goal of mine. I feel like the harder I go regarding that, it'll help me, you know, expose my YouTube more, but it'll also help me with like the actual career I'm trying to build around this. Because I'm going to be a model. I am a model. I'm going to be a bigger model in the future, period. And I'm not gonna only keep saying it, I'm gonna keep working towards it. So everything you see me saying in this video, you can pull it up as receipts. Just give me a year. Because everything I'm saying is gonna come. In the next 5 years, I see myself being financially stable enough to buy a house. Hopefully with a boyfriend or fiance. I don't really see myself married in the next 5 years. I see myself setting up to get married in the next 5 years, along with planning for children. Not having them yet, but you know, like actually studying, settling down, receiving a house. The financial stability is gonna be there if I'm gonna be able to purchase a house, but I'm gonna be setting up those next steps to bring children into the world with my fiance once he's my husband. God willing. I see myself hitting a few countries. 9 times out of 10, I would have lived in at least 1 or 2 different countries by then, and I would have traveled to a lot more. Regarding my YouTube, I see this being a fully developed brand in the next 5 years, on the way to make Kamiley Sinaya a household name. It probably won't be by then, but it'll be on the way to. I see myself with my master's in administration or education, haven't decided yet, putting the steps together to start a business plan regarding opening my own private school. I see, long story short, like the motif of all of that is, I see the plan being completed to set up the purpose. if that makes sense. I expect to be successful in my terms regarding the goals that I set for myself, but I know I'm not gonna be society's definition of successful, and that's okay, because that's not the plan right now. Like, these people that's been doing this stuff that we see on our timeline, they're in their like 30s, 40s, been doing this for 10 plus years, devoted their life to it, and I know I'm gonna have to make that same type of sacrifice, and I'm completely fine with it. I just want to make sure that I have a timeline set up so I can track my personal progression of what I'm doing, and if need be, revise along the way. Yeah. I hate when I get this question because I genuinely don't know how to respond. I mean, what do I do for fun? I eat. I like to eat. We enjoy food around here. I also like to be outside. I know that's probably like very surface level, but I don't want to say working is what I do for fun because that sounds very problematic, but not working in a sense, but like, I don't know. I feel like when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. So this is what I do for fun. I create for fun. I write for fun. I know y'all probably forgot, but yes, I am still a poet. You know, we're in a tough spot right now, but I write for fun. I really love being outside. I really love art, so I guess you could say I like to go to museums for fun. Do I go as much as I want to? No, but I do like to go to museums for fun. I like to do activities. Like, I'm not a go to the club, get drunk, pop a bottle type of person. I like daytime activities. So like, granted, is that cool and dandy? Like, yeah, I ain't messing on nobody who does that for fun. That's just not my personal cup of tea. I just like to live. I like the experiences. I am a homebody, so most of the things that I like to do for fun, if it's not at a park, at a lake, outside somewhere, hiking or something, 9 times out of 10, it's in the house or at a restaurant or a museum. Like, I like to talk. I genuinely like to talk. So if like something's going on in like pop culture or something, and it's a very big topic, I like to talk about it. Not even talk about it, but debate it, pick people's brain, that type of thing. If there's a discussion point in a book that I'm reading or something's going on in the political climate, I like to talk about it. I really like to meditate. I just like being outside. Long story short, I feel myself going down a rabbit hole of just activities I do outside. Take me on a hike or to an arcade or to the mall. So we go all day, all day. My favorite cartoon movie is Finding Nemo. My favorite gangster movie is Paid in Full. And my favorite musical is School Days. So growing up, my favorite love movie was Love and Basketball. Have my best friend tell it, the only reason that was my favorite movie is because Sanaa Lathan was in it, and you know, I felt like because we shared the same name, I had to support the movie. But no, I genuinely liked the movie. But growing up now and seeing how toxic that is, Monica and Quincy both have problems. And Monica and Quincy are both running away from being their parent, which is turning them more into their parent. And that was just some toxic ass shit. As much as I hate Quincy and how toxic he was to that girl, Monica is even worse, because why would you even let him do that? You chased that man through every 4 quarters of your life. He scarred you literally as a child. Literally scarred you. You gave him your virginity. You went to college with this man. You doing great. You putting basketball first. His daddy getting a feel. He wants you to drop everything, be there for him, but he not even there for you. Cheat on you in your face. Talking about he took the hoe to Burger King. You let that man cheat on you in your face and try to get back together with him. When he tried to get back together with you, he ain't want that. And you on your knees crying and begging, acting all heartbroken, get you a good career as a professional basketball player overseas, and you come back because this nigga hurt his leg, because his stupid ass want to draft. instead of going to college. And above all of this, like after all of this is said and done, she see this man has a fiance. And instead of letting him go on and flourish in his flat lavender, she talking about, son, you the reason I don't love basketball anymore. Quit her job as a famous basketball player to be a teller in her daddy bank just to be around a nigga who settled for her. He said she gonna beat her. That's why he did everything he did to her, because he knew that she was gonna beat her regardless. He knew she was never leaving. And she ain't. I need us as women to stand up because, ooh, that movie pissed me off so much now. And the thing is, she went to him talking about some play me for your heart. This nigga dunking on her. He was going crazy on her ass. Crazy. Nigga was going bonkers like he was playing with a. Here she go, crying off and Nah. Me and baby boy was gonna have to square up, because you not finna do me like that. Had this man baby. That movie was not cute. As cute as they tried to make that movie seem, and I'm not gonna lie, I loved it growing up. My best friend hated it. She called it. At 7 years old, that girl called it. And all I can do is respect her and the woman that she is, because obviously I used to be toxic. That movie was never cute. It was toxic as hell is what it was. And I grew out of that phase and I went into my poetic, Afrocentric, Yemen, Ya, Oshun, whatever the fuck. I went into that phase. And Love Jones became my favorite movie. And that movie, it was just as toxic, if not more toxic, than Love and Basketball. I just loved me some Lorenz Tate. But Nia Long is a dummy. Lorenz Tate is toxic. And his friend is trifling. That movie was horrible too. I'm not about to give y'all a synopsis of how horrible Love Jones is, because I want y'all to go watch it. You know what I think it was for me? I think I just liked the beginning of the movie when he recited Brother of the Night. Like, that poem really got me. Going back and listening to it, it wasn't even that good. I got to admit, girl, you the shit, girl. I wish a nigga would. I say, baby, can I be your slave? No. No, Kunta, you can't. What's that Tyler Perry movie? A Jazz Man's Blues. That movie that just came out on Netflix by Tyler Perry. I wouldn't even make that a love movie. It's really a tragedy. I'm not gonna spoil it, because if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it, because it was good as hell. But that was not a romance movie. It was a tragedy. But if it just had to be considered a romance for some odd reason, which it wasn't nothing romantic about that movie. It was good though. It was really good. What other genres are there? So my favorite Disney movie, like on Disney Channel, was Let It Shine. Bling, you don't want a battle. You the snake without the rattle. You the duck without the waddle. You the horse without the saddle. You the ranch without the cattle. So I think you should skedaddle, kick rocks, sayonara, arrivederci. What language do I have to spit it in for you to hear me clearly? Adios, amigo. You over with, finito. To this day, he ate him up. I'm lying, I'm dying. That man ate him up. So a lot of things motivate me in life in general, but this past season, I received a very big new motivation. One of the biggest things for me now regarding motivation is thinking about myself as a mother. And it's all I'm gonna say is, no, I ain't had no pregnancy scare or nothing like that. I just started thinking about motherhood a lot because a lot of my people around me, like, you know, they're starting families, they're becoming parents, and I want to ensure that I'm the best parent that I can be when that time comes. And I can't ensure that in the future unless I'm making those steps now in the present. I want to make sure my child doesn't need for anything. Granted, I don't want to be rich. Like, my goal in life is not to be, you know, rich and famous or anything like that. I want to be respected and I want to live comfortably. So if my son or daughter or both needs something, I want to be able to give it to them. without a blink of an eye. I want them to be mentally stable. I want them to be heard. I want them to be taken care of physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I can't do that 110% for them until I'm 110% together. We're breaking generational curses around here. I feel like a lot of the time people have kids too young and they unsubconsciously give them the trauma that they've been harboring, making it turn into something even bigger than it was before because they didn't take the time to heal. I want to take the time to heal and unpack all of the trauma, all of the mental disabilities or crutches that I've developed over these years because of the trauma before I have these kids, because they don't deserve that. And I don't deserve it, hence why I'm getting rid of it. I want to be able to give my kids the healthiest life possible. I want them to know that they could come to me with anything. I want them to know they are never going to have the need for necessities. Now, they're going to know the worth of $1. I'm not just going to be out here spoiling them. I probably am. I'm going to spoil my kids, but it's going to be well deserved. Like, I'm not going to raise no brat. All I'm going to say is I know how it feels to grow up in poverty and grow up wanting to do things and needing things and having to respect that you can't do it. And like I said, I have trauma that I have to get rid of. So I'm not gonna say I know what and what not to do, but that's one of my biggest motivations right now. Figuring out what and what not to do, so when the time comes, I'm doing it to the best of my ability. So that's really motivating me right now. It's not my only motivation. Like, I have a lot more, that I can get into socially, politically. Like, I have to be the change. I have to be the pillar in my community. I'm not just trying to get big and do this. Like, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is not to stunt or receive all of these allocates or anything like that. I'm doing it to represent what could be. Like I told you guys, I grew up on the south side of Atlanta, and like, granted, there's a lot of people who've made it from Atlanta, period. But think about how these people made it. Most of the people who you know from my city, I feel like either rap, play football or basketball, or sold dope and turned into something else. How many models, How many, there's not a lot of people receiving recognition for it. I'm not gonna say there's not a lot of people doing it, because there are a lot of people. There's a lot of people doing communal work, but there's not a lot of people receiving allocates for it. And some of the people that do communal work are afraid of that community because they don't live in it, or they don't give back to it the way they know it needs to be given back to. Like, they just give back to impoverished communities, or they just give back to a community. I want to give back to my community, because my community is the community that fed me. Once I start small, then I'll grow big. But I can't even start small in my community, let alone my home, unless I start with myself. So that's the biggest thing motivating me right now. I am my biggest critic, and I am also my biggest competition. So unless I get right for me, I'm never gonna be or do right, if that makes sense. It's not the money, it's not the likes. I barely get any of that right now, but I'm still doing what I'm doing because of the love for it. Like, I genuinely love everything that I'm planning on doing, and everything that I'm actively doing right now. I genuinely like doing it. So my friends also are big motivators, because a lot of the time they believe in me more than I believe in myself. And I feel like I've said in another video, they're not even in the same field as me. Like, a lot of my friends and I are night and day, but the amount of support and love that they have for me and what I'm doing, it's enough to motivate me to go even harder. Granted, they're not the only reason I do anything, but they're a reason. They're probably a reason, not the only reason, but they are a reason I put a little oomph on the end of that, because they don't deserve to see me fail. After pouring what they poured into me, I wouldn't even allow them to see me fail. Like, failure isn't an option, and I feel like the only way you can prevent failure from being an option is if you plan accordingly, not just putting everything into plan A. Like, yes, put your all into plan A, but make sure you have a plan B as well. Like, I know what I want to do, but I know there's different avenues to get to what I want to do. And just knowing that I have the drive, the intelligence, the faith, and the willpower, along with the support to do so, is motivation in itself. Like, I don't need much else. I really have the recipe to everything that I want to do. Like, I just went off on a very big tangent. All you ask is what motivates me, but I haven't been into just the big lashes anymore. Is this growth? I think that's growth. Y'all know this is new for me. I don't ever go this small. Is this growth? Is this maturity? Now this sticker response was last, but certainly not the least. Let me put it right here. It wasn't even a question, but thank you. Thanks. I try. I do. The girls done messed up letting me get a hold of some makeup and some retwist gel. Cause baby, how should I do my hair? My twister's still fresh and I don't really like styling them like that when I first put them in. But I will for you guys. You know I like everything that makes sense. If I wasn't repping now, I'd probably take breaks. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, it was just not the vibes. But if you tuned in this long and enjoyed watching me do my makeup and answer these questions, thank you for watching. It is very much appreciated. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with your mama, auntie, sister, cousin, uncle, granddad, boyfriend, all that. Make sure to turn those post notifications on so you do not miss my next upload. 9 times out of 10. Listen to me. There is a premiere set on my page. Get notified so you know when the video goes live so you don't miss none of this good loving, girl. Thank you guys so much again, and I will catch y'all later.